Good day, everybody. Today I ventured down into a little village where I used to live, actually. It's called Poynton in Cheshire. And yeah, I'm doing this because a good friend of mine, Wayne Saunders, asked me to, because Wayne's an old friend of mine, an old school friend. And he quite rightly said on Facebook, he looked after me at school when I first moved here, when I first came to school. I was a bit bullied, and Wayne took me under his wing. What a super guy. Thank you very, very much, Wayne. So this one, fella, is for you. Let's get a good close look at Poynton. And the Bymaster's over the road at Morrison's. This is Queensway. There are some wonderful shops down here on Queensway. A bit further down there is Bramall Bakery. I was the baker at Bramall Bakery until the owner sold it. It still exists though. I was also the baker at Cobb's before it became Bramall Bakery. And for those of you who are old enough in Poynton and remember the Muffin Man, I was also the baker there then. With the legendary Les Smith, who was probably the finest baker I've ever known, apart from Scott Peters. Bymasters are looking intrigued. So, let's have a look round. These flats above are absolutely enormous. I know that because at 16 or 17, I moved into one, and they are huge. Very unhappy child there. And there's Bramall Bakery, and believe you me, the goods in there are first class. And right next door is a very, very well known in Poynton and elsewhere, the Beijing restaurant. Had many meal in there, and believe you me, it is absolutely fantastic. And directly over the road is Poynton's Wetherspoons, the Kingfisher. Now, many, many years ago, when this wasn't Wetherspoons, the Kingfisher was managed by a Nick Nicolopolo, and it was the go-to place in Poynton. Lots and lots of wonderful memories from there. But here we are looking at Sovereign House. This used to be an office block many, many years ago. And the bakery that I worked in just down there got an awful lot of business from these guys. Used to come in for their lunches every single day. They are now very, very posh apartments. Must be nice to have one up there. So they've got a nice little balcony. Very posh indeed. And we'll have a closer look at the Kingfisher Wetherspoons. We've got lovely seating areas. It's not going to be nice sat out there in this sort of weather, but just to let you see, there's a lovely little canopy there, and I'm quite sure they do have heaters, so that will keep you warm in the inclement weather. Let's just have a quick look at the inside. I don't want to go all the way in because there's people having their breakfast, eating their meals, and having a drink. But that is the Kingfisher, and it's beautiful. Yep, the little outside seating area undercover does have heaters. I might come back here at dinner time and have myself a pint. There it is, the card factory. Everywhere's got a card factory, everywhere I go. Next door to the subway. Over the road we've got Poynton Fish Bar. So there's plenty of places to eat. And this, to my knowledge, is a new addition to Poynton. Is Domino's. Personally, I love their pizzas. It should be well received, I should imagine. That I don't know. And here is a very, very large Aldi, which has proven to be extremely popular. And I must admit, I do like Aldi. One other lovely thing about Poynton, this village is full of trees. That's what I love to see. And who can forget the Poynton Legion? This is a wonderful, wonderful little club. I have to excuse the lens flare. Very nice outside seating area. Now, they do have an enormous function room. The bars are fantastic. My brother was a steward there for decades, and it really is a fabulous place to be, fabulous place to visit on Remembrance Sunday. You can't move in here, it's absolutely wonderful. Like I say, sorry about our lens flare. Right, let's get back out. There's Poynton Motors with some very expensive motor cars inside. I'm going to have a look at it a bit because I am thinking of changing my car shortly. In the distance there, Poynton-Cheshire, which I'm now going to go and have a closer look at. Surrounded by glorious trees. Love it. Now, many years ago, the roads weren't like this, but many years ago, Poynton changed and this became what they call shared space. So you can safely cross the road because motorists or anyone that comes through Poynton knows that you are equally as important as motorists. But unfortunately, sorry about the traffic noise, as you can see, the road's coming for quite some considerable damage. Now this will be because the HGVs that used to come through Poynton, they no longer do because there has been a new bypass which has taken an awful lot of traffic out of Poynton, and believe you me, that was very, very welcome. Because getting through Poynton at some times was an absolute nightmare. But this is what the heavy traffic caused, and it's really, really unfortunate because it did look absolutely lovely before heavy traffic destroyed it. The Poynton-Pakora, which is rather a wonderful Indian restaurant. There are a couple in Poynton. The Apayon is reputedly the best. That's what my brother says. And here is Panache. This used to be the old NatWest Bank. As you can see, it's a hell of a lot different now. Looks like there's a lot of school children out and about. Panache, very, very nice. I haven't actually been in there myself, but I know people who have, who really sing his praises. So, there you go. Here, it used to be Fountain Place. There's an ornamental type fountain thing in the middle, and it was one roundabout. Now it's two, as you can see. Now, unfortunately, I've come down at about 9 o'clock, so it is rush hour. So it's going to sound and look very busy. Poynton Street, as always, is brilliant. And it's right outside Poynton Church. We get a glorious entrance into the place. So let's wander through and have a quick look at the church that Poyntoners love. There's their cenotaph. I try to get down here every Remembrance Sunday. I will come here. I lived in Poynton for quite a few years, and the people's response to Remembrance Sunday is incredible, and that in itself is wonderful to see, as is this glorious church. Oh, and there's the time, nearly 9:30. I'll have a quick look around to the wall round to the entrance. I'm not going to go inside. I'll say there's a lot of children out there on the pavement, and they're doing a survey about clean air, which I have just contributed. One of the questions they asked was, do you find this place unpleasant? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Morning. Nice and peaceful away from the traffic noise. Looking very much like that is all anti-slip, which is absolutely wonderful. There's the entrance into the church. I'm not going in, just in case there's something going on inside. I don't want to disturb anybody, but it is a lovely church, trust me. And look at the terrace, the Panache. Absolutely lovely. I've got to go in there one day. Venturing onto Park Lane. If I'm not mistaken, this was the original artefact that was in the middle of the road here where the roundabouts now are. and that was Fountain Place. I don't know how long it's been there actually, because I've never noticed it before. It's Mate's DIY. That's a brilliant DIY shop. Anything you could possibly want that involves DIY, you'll get it in there, believe me. Wonderful, wonderful place. Just nice to see trees. I've not been down here for a while, but it doesn't appear to have changed much apart from Domino's. Ah, hot yoga studio. Sounds alright, doesn't it? Let's continue our walk up here, see what else we can find. A Poynton bargain store, which is here on Park Lane. Those of a certain age will remember when this was the Mercury Market. It was a very small supermarket that had a wonderful little coffee shop at the front windows here, and it was dead popular. Sadly, it's gone. I think it was also once an Asda. You got Greg, so you know. Cafe Azul. And just over the road there is Fire and Ice. Now, if you want a breakfast, that's one place to go. I can strongly recommend it. Brothers eat there all the time. Plenty of barbers. The Cask Tavern. Now we've got a pub in Macclesfield called the Park Tavern, and I believe they're run by the same people. It's a Bollington Brewery pub, and the ale is brilliant. Very large Pizza Express. This is Park Lane. Sorry about the traffic, as I said. Oh, I can smell bacon sandwiches. God, I can smell bacon butties. Oh, that smells fantastic. I think Les is over the road looking for one. And there's the Flute and Firkin Tap House. Locally home brewed or locally brewed ales. Nice little place. And the Stick Shop, which some would say, well, a lot of people do say, it's the best barber for miles. And look at this, how wonderful is this? Il Borgo Antico Ristorante Pizzeria. That looks beautiful, doesn't it? Especially with the frost. Just looks so Christmassy. Over the road there, the Strawberry Pig. Now that chippy, I think it opened in the early 80s, maybe earlier than that, but it certainly stood the test of time, and it certainly is good. Now, Henry D. Johnston next door, many years ago, was the Krusty King Bakery. Yep, I was a baker in there as well. I do get around in my career as a baker. I've worked at quite a few places. Sorry about the traffic noise. As I said, it is only 9:30, so it is rush hour. You gotta love Poynton. You gotta love Poynton. Just through this hedge here is the Farmer's Arms. Another well-used pub. Fair-sized car park. And some awesome outdoor seating. In the summer, wonderful. In the winter, maybe not so, but they will have heating. Is that a good idea, taking up half the car parking space for that? I don't know. Oh, look! Sadly, these haven't been collected. Nice thing to put them in plastic though, plastic cups. as opposed to glass when you're sitting outside. Lovely little Waitrose over there. I'm going to venture further on up there shortly, but I'm going to get my car for that. So I want to show you the miners' cottages because they look lovely. There really is an awfully strong smell of bacon, probably coming from fire and ice. One thing you will notice about Poynton, how clean it is. There's barely any rubbish on the floor. I don't know whether it's like that on a Sunday morning or not, but yeah, it's very clean, very tidy. Because of all the trees, it makes it very pretty as well. What do you think? And right smack bang in the centre of Poynton, we have Tudor. Everyone that watches my channel knows I adore Tudor. It's wonderful stuff. Now down at Poynton Station, surrounded by lush greenery, but it would be if it wasn't winter. But this station won quite a lot of awards for the best kept station. Now Glyn was the station master. I'm unsure whether he still is, because they have an automated ticket machine in there now, which is taking jobs away from people. But Glyn was proud of his station and he kept it in absolutely pristine condition, and that is why it won the awards it did. We'll have a quick wander onto the platform. I've left the pie master in the car because he's freezing. He's got a heated coat on. This is the way out, but you can go in. And here we have it. Poynton Station. As you can see, it is clean, tidy. The little bridge that goes over it goes up to where I once lived on South Mead. Some people may know it, a lot of people probably won't. No litter at all, just a lovely looking station. As it says there, welcome to Poynton. Season ticket scanner, as you can see. There's now nobody in there. What a shame. It is a wonderful station. Right, let's go on elsewhere. Might have pop inside the ticket office so you can have a look yourselves. How lovely it is. Now, Station Master Glyn does still work here, but unfortunately he's off this week. And this gentleman, who's gone, has kindly allowed me to come inside and film. That's not a real cat, incidentally. But, as you can see, it's so quaint, isn't it? Almost Victorian. It looks bloody lovely. Right, back to the car. Fire Master's getting his gloves on to keep warm. Here's Poynton's fire station. I believe Phil Moore was a volunteer there. I used to work with him at APR Laminates. So if you venture further up Park Lane, come to School Lane. There's another variety of little shops. Citizens, good grief, man. You don't see many of them now, do you? I think it's shut, actually. Little cafe on the corner. Now, the reason I've stopped here is just round this corner. There's a place all teenagers in Poynton, and probably from other places as well, used to come to the disco. Poynton Social Centre. It was epic. The bulk of the music was Northern Soul, and I used to try and dance. I was absolutely awful. The sun coming through the trees, beautiful. Someone's car alarm's going off there. Oh wow, look at the entrance to that house. Look at that. Wow. Is that a house? Don't think it is, actually. And there's Poynton's Working Men's Club, the club. And here is the centre. It's where we used to flock to when we were teenagers. I think most people in Poynton my age would have come here when they were teenagers, through into the disco, had a fair-sized dance floor, and it was just party time. No alcohol involved because we were underage. Well, people used to get some from the off licence and, you know, have a couple of drinkies before they went in. I hope no one's parents are listening to this whose children used to come here. They're just trees. This is what's great about Poynton. That's why they call it a leafy village. And it certainly is. I'm going to go up there because up there is the miners' cottages. I want to have a little look at those before I venture to Poynton's crowning glory, I suppose. And we'll be there very, very shortly. Bit of useless information for you. My best mate Alan Marsh used to live there with his parents. From school. And on Coppice Road, we have some gorgeous little stone cottages. I've actually been inside one of those many, many years ago. I remember it being quite narrow, particularly the kitchen. But they're grand little buildings, aren't they? Beautiful blue sky as well. Look at the size of that one. Good grief, man. Pretty affluent up here. Oh, Santa! See you on the 24th, mate. Midnight. This is pleasant, isn't it? Nice little triangle of greenery and crisp frozen leaves. Listen. Bad. We're just down here if I don't slip. May have been a mistake coming this way, but I don't know. Gonna find out when I go down here. It's not particularly wet, so it shouldn't be slippery, he says. We made it! Okay, the old pump house. Physiotherapy and Pilates clinic. But just a bit further down here, we'll come across the old miners' cottages. Now if you go down here and turn right, that goes up to Anson Engine Museum. I've never been there personally, but I know it exists. I know a lot of people have. So I'll wait till I get around the corner, then I can have a look at and we can have a look at the cottages. They're still there and they look quite splendid. Was a big mining community, Poynton, all those years ago. Okay. As promised, here they are. The old miners' cottages. Aren't they brilliant? Absolutely no idea what it look like inside, but I just love the way they're set back. These wonderful little spaces at the front of the gardens, surrounded by trees. Well, sound of something, someone's cutting one down. Plenty of trees up here. This is heading towards Higher Poynton. Up there are more pubs, Boar's Head, and we've also got Poynton Canal just up there, and go to the right. And it's equally as nice up there, believe me. And in the summertime, great place to sit and drink, eat, and just admire nature. And here on South Park Drive, which leads to Towers Road, are some very, very desirable properties. Right opposite is the jewel in Poynton's crown. If it has a jewel, I mean, all the Poynton's pretty lush, really. But here is Poynton Pool. It's a lake. They call it pool because they don't think it's big enough to be a lake. But you can imagine in the summertime, this place is absolutely packed. It's extremely popular with dog walkers. As you can probably see, lots of dog walkers come here to walk their little beasts. And over there, there's a lake which you can have a wander down to and see why it's so popular. I think you'll agree, it's quite spectacular. It looks very much like parts of the lake is frozen. On the other side of the lake, there is a walkway, stretches right the way down to the far end. Very popular with fishermen. But the reason I've come down here, because I passed this house on the way in, the mansion. Look at the frost, look at the frost. And I had to get it on film. So as Christmas decorations go, I've never seen anything quite like this. I've taken a short detour to the end of the lake I didn't really want to go to show you this. We're not really that close, but I've got to zoom. Hope you can zoom in far enough for you to have a good look at that house there. Look at that. Whew. Someone loves Christmas very, very much. Nice. There's the pie master patiently waiting for me. He's been talking to the lady with a few doggies. Doggies up there have even got coats on. It's cute. Let's get down by the lake. See how much of it is frozen. Lovely stuff. Just a thin coating of ice on the water. It's not frozen enough to get on it. As you can see, wherever there's no shadow, the sun is now clearing the frost. This is still under shadow, so let's break a bit of ice, huh? How satisfying is that? Pie master's streaking ahead. The last time I came here in the summer on a really hot day, you don't get people in the pool, but you do get dogs. They love it. The people are all picnicking in this area because it's a fantastic place to come and relax and picnic. Bring yourself a few tinnies, but take all your rubbish home with you or put it in the bins provided. And to be honest, I haven't seen a bin yet, so yeah, take your rubbish home, people. Let's keep the place looking as good as it looks right now. Yeah, you can see slightly frozen, not a great deal. Stretches all the way down there where the old boathouse is. We'll go down as far as the boathouse and have a little look at that, and probably go back home again and get warm. It's always a pleasure being here, always a pleasure. People of Poynton, you're very lucky. I lived here in the early 70s. Not sure when we left. I was here for quite a long time. Went to Poynton High School. And it's a beautiful place. It is. Dogs everywhere. And you know, I love dogs. And dogs love people. So there you go. Here's one right now. Hello, doggy. How you doing? Hey, how you doing? It's a camera.
I'm starving.
Oh, me too. Take care. Bye bye. Oh, I love dogs. Do you know, I wish I brought the drone with me today. I usually take it out with me. I wasn't sure what the weather was going to be like, so I left my drone at home. I should have got some drone footage here. I have flown here many a time. Got some awesome footage. It looks incredible from the sky, as you can imagine. Get down towards the end and have a look at the boathouse. Here we go. Plenty of ducks. Ducks, seagulls. They do have swans on the pool. And a lot of Canadian geese. I do believe the Canadian geese all disappear for the winter, but they'll be back. So I have to make do with seagulls. And look, they're still on top of the ice. Oh, bless them. Why don't they get cold? Oh, these fellas think I've got food. So I'm going to move on because it's cruel. I haven't got anything. Sorry, guys. Sorry. And towards the end of the pool now. It's also popular with runners. Do you know, I should have come here in the autumn and filmed all this with a drone. The colours would have been spectacular. Unfortunately, the leaves are all on the floor now instead. Ah, one Canadian goose. Billy no mates. And there it is, the boathouse. And over yonder, an incredibly huge, enormous house, mansion. Just brilliant. Anyway, excuse the lens flare, but this will be the end of my video. And it's been an absolute pleasure to make. Hope you enjoy it, who's ever watching it. And yeah, if you like the look of this place, and I'm sure you will, get yourself down here, particularly to Poynton, and just enjoy the surroundings, the peacefulness, the nature, and it's great. Anyway, I'm off home, so I'll see you all next time I'm out and about. Take care all. It's adios from me and from Poynton and Poynton.